Hi, you caught me off guard. As a favorite book writer, it's easy to do that. I mean, I'm thinking about having more books. I mean, this is one of my favorite books. It's how this is. Let's see. Now gather around for this book. This book is one of my favorites, because I read it. And so begins the story. Bill McAlpine lived at the Brookhaven orphanage. And how he was the only one left the home because every other orphan that he once knew got adopted. He sat there thinking, since as long as he could remember, he wondered where was his mom and dad? Where were they? Why did he as long as he could remember, he was an orphan and homeless. He was not just living at the Brookhaven orphanage. He was living at the Brookhaven homeless. He was living at the Brookhaven orphanage, and but as years went by, he said, as years sadly went by, he was still homeless, and he wondered why no one ever came to adopt him. Then came the fateful day. No one knew even what his birthday is, but as he looked out the window, though, and wondered why no family, as he remembered all the best friends are now probably often like, he remembers living with a kid named Caden and Jack. Those two got adopted by a wonderful family and moved to Litopia. Yeah. And he said, side note, yes, sometimes I will have the character for a while in Brookhaven, and then its story calls for outer space. It's like working on a cruise ship, stuff like that. I will. But then came the fateful day. The director of the orphanage that he lived at only allowed kids 1 to 18. And being how he just passed his 18th birthday, the director told him via letter to get out. He ran out of the place as it was raining, but the director did not care. He passed the age of 18. So he decided to run away into a little. Side note. But this is where he's gonna live until he finds out that he could be. Since he could remember. As it was still raining and pouring when he got to. Now, he didn't know the director here would allow him, but he was just happy to have a roof over his head and a bathroom. But he didn't know that this house was abandoned. Because of the new mayor, he basically lived there for about a week before the rain stopped. Soon after the rain stopped, he was afraid that some other guy would kick him out. So that's why he decided to leave. Again. This time for wherever the house is in Brookhaven, when they're 100% abandoned, yeah. As it would get nighttime, and he didn't have anywhere else to sleep. He only stayed in that cottage until the rain passed. As it would become nighttime on the very first night alone, he didn't want to live near the dumpsters. But then he felt he literally had a seizure. He was low on food because the minute when the director kicked him out, he barely even had breakfast. As he knew he needed to get a job. But for right now, this little house will do. That night, he thought about what he could do. He thought about becoming a doctor, a fireman, and a lawyer. Yeah. But that when it hit. Back when he was like 7 or 8. Back when he was still homeless. He would go into set. Back when he was homeless, he used to scrub. Back when he used to just run out with his own jacket just for the fun of it. Back then. Hold on. As he was stealing from the guy, he stopped and saw the TV. He saw firefighter as he heard as the guy that owned the apartment was in the bathroom. So he quickly ran out of there. So he said, where's the firefighter? As he was scrounging around for leftover behind Brook Diner. No. As he said, getting pretty late. Again. As he, he could not fit into the trash can, he said, well, this is it. As he said, enough of this. I'm gonna ask someone for a job. And if they say no, but then he remembered the director of the shelter he lived at always tried to give him a job, but he remembered that nice old lady that used to be with him until the director outright fired her for last year. She went to Brook. Sure enough, she was there. Two of his friends that moving on. Not she was there. He checked on two of his other friends. Last he heard about her, it was that she was in Brookhaven Hospital. And sure enough, she was right there. Being how he's homeless and the nurse And Courtney said, "What are you doing here, Bob? Bob McKinley? Me? I'm homeless and now I'm poor. The director finally kicked me out. That's why." And she died right then and there. As he, no, as a day later, it was the same night, but she didn't. He was homeless, but yet he was attendant. She would put to rest at Brookhaven Cemetery. Mrs. The name? No. The name of the nurse was Courtney, but the name of the nurse was the name of the girl that worked for the children's home that he lived at, was named Mrs. Wilson. As her real name is Agatha. As she looked upon Agatha's grave, the director, there became the mayor by that time, who banned homeless people to move out of homeless shelters as soon who banned them out of children's homes as soon as they turned the ripe old age of 18 from children's home. Then you can go to homeless shelters. As the director, as he tried to go to Brookhaven. Did I say? Once they can either go to an orphanage or a homeless shelter. So he was back at the homeless shelter during the day, because the director knew laws said that. But this time, instead of, he got cleaned up. He decided to get cleaned up. Like, get on proper clothes. Something that he never done. Something that he never decided to do. He doesn't love. But he was still sad. But this time, instead of like doing what he always used to do, as for once he got cleaned up, like his hair. Why are you doing something? At the night director. I never got cleaned up. I was always never told I could. You were never told you could get cleaned up? Yeah. So obviously, why do you get cleaned up? Because I want a job and no one will accept me if I'm broke, if I look like I'm homeless. But they will know because you live at a homeless shelter. I could just say that I'm struggling on hard times or something. And how does my hair look? I think I walked it like 3 times, but well, there, that's better. As he waited patiently until the sun went up, he decided to go on a walk to the local fire department. The director had no idea, because his next goal was to find those homeless idiots. This director was so nice. Shame 10 years down the road as an old man, as he literally walked to the fire station. Noticing that they're doing here because the city just doesn't have enough money anymore to afford firefighters. Larry, it was. He decided to work there, there, there because even though the city wasn't paying firefighters anymore, his dream was to become a firefighter. His dream was to become a firefighter, like his hero that he one day on television. Like him. He was still sad. He was kind of middle. He was sad because the city wasn't paying enough for his services. I mean, and that there was no real fire. Larry, the fire department. Larry, he had a fire truck already at the station, but what would be the purpose of a fire truck if there was never a fire? Yeah. He wondered if being a firefighter. But then something strange happened. The director of his home found out. But then, just then, as he was coming back from another unsuccessful patrol, we interrupt story time with Jack. Guys, if you ever play this house in Brookhaven, please tell me where. Guys, have you found where that thing that I'm looking for is? I might just have to say another rich person. Because that house has the option of it. You see? Right there. I'm gonna try to look for it again. In that other house. I smell smoke! As he quickly jumped in the fire. As he had everything he needed, as he saw the fire in the distance. As a rich old person was right, what should I do? How? First ever time in a... Right, what should I do? I need... Because the fire's killing inside the house. I can't... Wait, I can use the ladder to get up to here. Still, the fire's inside the house. Good idea. Use the hose, but yet, how can I... That basic fire rescue 101. You never ever leave and going to... As he remembered, the firefighters have special clothing. Have special... As he said, I'm making my way down over. As he was in the house, he wondered how the fire started. Just in case the basement's on fire. And it looked like the basement somehow that doesn't give me hope over that the rest I wonder. I'll figure out how the fire started. Maybe someone lit a candle and that caught on fire. As he was happy. First, every time he put out a fire. Yeah. As he made sure that rich. But then he saw the cause. The oven and microwave were on. Were on. The oven was on a higher setting of 100. He figured out that the oven combined with the microwave might have caused the fire. That the oven and the microwave might have caused the fire. Yeah. But then he thought that something must have caused the. He felt very proud of himself. I mean, first, every time he put out a fire, I mean, he felt really proud of himself. That from then on, as a fire. But his water tanks were really low after that big inferno, as he felt really proud of himself after he put out that big inferno. No. So proud of that, he didn't care what position he put the fire plug in at the station. As he said, Man, for real fire. Ring, 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 said the bell, as he immediately took off again. For what was another, but this time, instead of getting there when half the fire was out, he set the. As he said, okay. Once again, he got on his. He realized that. But one thing about this house was that the person that owned it was locked it. So after realizing that the owner accidentally locked it shut, and the he somehow barred the door open. But wonder how this fire started. As the city was still paying the department less than nothing. As the city was still paying him close to nothing. as he can. As the city was still paying him close to nothing. After he was done putting out all the fire, he decided not to take off his oxygen mask and air breather just in case he. But he tried to use a little fire extinguisher, and that still worked. But then he noticed that there was a helicopter on the roof, and he asked the homeowner what happened. But with that knowledge in mind, he said, very likely when your helicopter backfired, it likely created a spark. Thus, you had dry leaves, but yet that still doesn't answer how the fire got inside your house. I tried to put out on my own fire department, but that still doesn't explain. Whatever. It doesn't really make sense. As he later said, Arrivederci. So that's how it went for the next 85 years. So that's how it went. A fire at some person's house, a fire which ultimately led into his last year as a firefighter. By this time, fire departments in the city were being funded. It was his last day out on the 4th before. He got wind that, like he's done a million times, he rushed over to this. But this time he decided to plug in. Being how there are no hydrants. He went into the prison. And he fainted. No one knows what happened. That fire guy heroically deserved to live on. Even though I did call him that, that's not his real name. His real name is Nolan. Firefighter Nolan. Well, no, I guess Nolan will be always immortalized as one of my characters. Until next, well, I have to now go write the next book. And yes, this is now. I'm gonna go write the next book. Who should it be about? Let's see, who the next book should be about. Let's see, who else? I have tons of ideas for stories. But there won't be next time.